Hello, storytellers, and welcome back to another Isaac Cinnamon stream. We're back at it once again, back in the club. In the club, we all fan. Um, how's everyone's weeks going? Is my mic peaking? That's not nice. Why is it doing that? Where'd my limiter go? Is it not nice? Hold on, let me hear it. Let me hear it for myself before we make any judgments. Is it not nice? Hold on, let me hear it. Let me hear it for myself before we make any judgments. Is it going off of my this mic or the computer mic? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Off of my this mic or the computer. Hold on. I'm testing things. I mean, it seems like this mic. I know. Also, I'm probably getting weird feedback. I don't know. Also, camera, come down. Um, this seems odd and strange, and I don't like either of those things. Device.
Oh, hey, is that better? Is that nicer? That looks nicer and better. Hold on. Let me look. Hey, is that better? Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. Okay, got that figured out, and hopefully that is our entire technical issue for the day, so I am happy about that. It is officially May. We are in May season, May times. Mayhaps. And that's something to be, I don't want to hint. Thank you. No. I'm glad that we are in May. April did feel like a bit of a long month, personally. But we did a lot in April. We did a lot of streams in April. I changed my majors this past April. So a lot going on there. And I'm ready for a lovely little stream today. I, as you probably saw from the title of this, do have a bit of a interesting assignment that I want to approach and kind of talk about, just see what we got going. I spent a good bit of time just playing around in Photoshop today for that thumbnail, so at the end I couldn't tell if it was actually like reading well as a thumbnail or if it was just I was just ready to be done with it. But as long as you're having fun, then you know it's a good time. A mint, a pent, a dent. That's not a word. What's up, Kay? How's it going? Hope you're having a good one. Yeah, I ran this morning. I ran 4 miles. That wasn't too bad. I was going to run like not really a race, but kind of a race tomorrow. But thankfully that kind of got moved. What could this word be? Eject. Eject. Is that how you spell that? No. Yeah, we're gonna be writing a short film today. I want to look at some new trailers that came out. I got this, I'm working on this design project, and I got this, these invisible ink pens with like UV lights, because I'm doing this kind of like, it's very art school, but like this sort of design project that's like this, it's hard to explain without just telling you what it is, but basically it's like, it's this kind of spiritual and interesting thing where I'm gonna like draw on myself and then put it under the UV light, and then that's gonna be what shows up in the video. I still gotta work on that, but end of week 6, so I only have 4 more weeks of study here, and then I'm officially through with sophomore year, which is kind of cool. Eject. Nope. Agent. Oh, that would have been so good. I would have done that if it hadn't been for the fact that the N is gone. What genre are we gonna write today? That's a good question. I do have an idea for the project. It's supposed to be a narrative short film, which is like what most short films are, kind of combining the character work with the quick action work. And I was thinking of doing like a drama comedy sort of thing. And we'll get more into it later, but I've got some characters already in mind for that could be fun. Howdy there, Super Gaming Texan. Nice to see you. Nice to see you mosey on into the saloon. A tent. No. I gotta get away from the ents, because that is clearly not the answer. A pert. Alert. Avert. No, there's no R. Dang it. A deote. Guys, I swear I'm better at Wordle. It's the pressure of like doing it live. That's it. That's totally it. Because otherwise I would be like on this 100%. Addict. You're an addict. Effect. That's not how you spell that. This is a oddball. I wonder if it will make sense in a moment, or if I will crash and burn. Yeah. I did also watch a movie last night in theaters, which was Sinners, and I'm going to talk about that a bit today. But the funny thing was, we were not smart enough to... We didn't think that a lot of people were going to be there, so we were just going to get our tickets when we got to the theater. But when we got there, it was packed, and this was like an 8:50 showing at what I thought was not a very popular theater. Apparently that was wrong, but by the time we got there, we looked on the seating, and there were like no seats together, and it was just me and two other friends. So we were like, okay, well, we can either wait until a later showing, or we can just not sit together, which is not ideal, but we went ahead and did that, and we all got separate seats. But it ended up working out that I was like a row ahead of one of my friends, and then the other one, it just so happened to work out that they made the other people move so that there was an extra seat. So my two friends got to sit together behind me while I was in the extreme front row, just like all alone, all by my lonesome. I know, it's so sad. But alas, excerpt. Yes, that's the reason. It's absolutely the reason. I'm kind of drawing a blank here. We've been on this for a minute now. Apexed. No. Alst. No. This is weird. Anyone see any good movies lately? Any movies or shows? Anything to inspire your brain, your heart, your soul? Adept. Oh, found it. Oh, Adept. Ooh, that one felt good. Adept. Yes. Okay. 4 is not bad. As you can see, my average goes between 3 and 4, so not too shabby from what we normally do. You bought a CD yesterday? Ooh, what CD, if I may ask? What CD? Oh, that's not gonna look good if you do it like that. are going to fix you. I will try to fix you. That's a song, right? Yeah. Okay. You bought a CD and think only once you sat in the first row. It was Endgame, then just so worse that it's better not to go. Yeah, it depends on the theater. Thankfully, in this theater that I went to, the screen isn't like IMAX level, but also speaking of the Avengers right here, question that looks like today's date, May 1st is 0501. Strange, bring to mind. But anyways, yeah, sometimes my dad's really funny. He will bring us to the movie theater and he will intentionally put us at the front of the theater because he wants to like experience it, and it's just like, Dad, I'm looking up and it's like I have to look all the way upwards to see what's going on. But I digress. I don't think this is right, and I'm not paying attention because I'm talking about sitting in the front row. An Australian millipede holds the record for the most legs. Yeah, that is not good. Like some coffee orders. Wrong. Where to find ribosomes in a cell. So this could be comic, and this could be movie. Because the clue for both of them was the Avengers. So Avengers comic, Avengers movie. Surrounded by. That is not good. Like some coffee orders. Oh, may I? That's funny. Question that looks like today's date, May 1st, may I? Clever. Bring to mind, evoke, and like notebook paper is lined. Hey, there we go, we got there. What were the other ones? Like some coffee orders, iced. Then we got yikes for that's not good. Among, surrounded by, movie, cell, legs lined, evoke, comic. May I? Sweet. You watched a great short film by Omelette Stalled. Ooh, that's interesting. Is it called Omelette Stalled, or is it by, like, is that the person who made it, or is that what it's called? Because I might want to check that out. Stalled is a great sci-fi low-budget short film. Okay, gotcha. I'll have to look at that after. Actually, I'll take a peek at it right now, just for my own sake. Stalled by Omelette. Okay. Hey, I hear you. Stalled by Omelette. Oh, I see. Ooh. That actually does look kind of cool. And it's got 5.7 million views. Jeez. That is what we call a successful short film. That's really cool. A double feature of The Green Mile and The Shawshank Redemption. You've heard of both of them before, never watched them, but I've seen some of The Green Mile because my dad watched it. Well, first of all, Shawshank Redemption, incredible movie. Aren't both of those written by Stephen King, if I'm not mistaken? I could be wrong there, but I haven't seen The Green Mile, but that's on my list. On my list. All right, let's take a look here. 4 groups of 4. Pocket, shake, purse, pan, pot, dolly, fun, prize, travel, break, bite, kick, zoom, drop, reward, tilt. Okay, the first things I see, immediately tilt, zoom, dolly, and what's the one more? These are like camera moves. You tilt, you zoom, you dolly, and you pan. You pan. Boom. There's a category right there. Let's get them in a way that makes sense. I can remember that. Yeah, both are written by Steven. Yeah, I want to watch The Green Mile, but The Shawshank Redemption, one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, it's interesting. Let's see. To kick, to drop, to break, to... All of those seem like to kick something to drop something, to break something, or to shake something all feels like you're letting go of something. Like you can kick, drop, break an addiction, or like, I don't know, these feel all linked. Yeah. Then there's also prize, reward, the pot, like you win the pot, you win a prize, and you win win the purse. But purse and pocket also feel like they could go together. You win the big prize, big reward, the jackpot. Oh wait, jack travel. No, sometimes they do weird things where they like put jack and then the second word is what connects them all. So like it would be jackpot, jackrabbit. I'm not seeing any other like jacks here. We're left with prize, reward, pot. I mean, fun kind of goes with that. And then travel, purse, bite, pocket. We could try this and see what happens. One away. Okay. What would that other one be? What doesn't really fit here? Travel, bite, pocket, purse. Fun? No, still one away. Dang it. I'll try one more thing, and then if that doesn't work, then we'll go with what we know. Dang it. Okay, that got further away, which means we didn't get one away, which means that fun and bite are actually together. And wait, yeah. I don't know. King wrote really great dramas and horror. That guy has some serious range. I wish I could have that range. What about me? Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of feeling out like what kind of stories I like to tell and like the tone of them. But yeah, I mean, Stephen King is known for his horror, but then the fact that he can also like pull off something like Shawshank, and he's actually got one coming out or that's written by him called The Life of Chuck this year. I don't know anything about it, but it's got a lot of actors that I really like in it, and it looks like it could be similar to like a Shawshank or, you know, that kind of drama. So yeah, dude's got heck of a range. One of your book ideas is a thriller book, and you're currently writing a children's style short, so who knows, may have some range. Yeah, I mean, we all figure out short story. Yeah. Good luck to everyone. Yes, Tom Hiddleston. Oh, dude, I love Tom Hiddleston. Okay, back to this. I feel like we're in a bit of a pickle here. So let's get what we know. It's gonna be, you know, it's not gonna be the perfect order, like purple, blue, green, yellow, but kick, drop, shake, break. Stop as a habit. Yeah, you kick a habit. Reward. Okay, here's where we're lost here. We already guessed prize, pot. No, we already guessed travel. Travel, fun, pocket, and bite, right? Oh, we didn't try that. Okay. Words that precede size to mean small. Bite size, fun size, pocket size, travel. See what I mean by that? Okay, but we got there. Whew, we only had one guess left. It's crazy. The last one I find is always the yellow one, which is supposed to be the easiest one. I don't know, gang. I just don't know. All right, let's get our strands. Gotta get our strands. Maybe I'll add the Life of Chuck to our... I know how to play, thank you. Maybe we'll add the Life of Chuck to our trailers that we want to watch today, just because I need to like sit down and actually watch the trailer. I am excited for it. Guess the tick I have with my head as something your brother does. Oh, that's funny. I promise you it's subconscious. You know. I get around. Okay, I'm thinking of stuff with wheels. And I see wheels immediately. Wheelies. Wheelie. Oh, dude, we got the spanogram immediately. Let's go. Okay. I already see skateboard. My eyes are locked in today. Oh. My eyes are locked in today to... Sometimes you either see it or you don't. Roller coaster. Yes. Wait, that doesn't work. Roller skates. Coaster. Now hold on. I see rollerblades. Not roller coaster, rollerblades. I see it. I see the path. And scooters. Scooter. Check. 2 more words. Wagon. Oh my goodness. That was my fastest strands in so long. Wow. That was really good. No hints. Perfect. Small. Your mother's irritated by it. Of course it's subconscious, but it's funny a memory you have. Yeah. I hope it's not something that my brothers inherit. Careful of the brain when people are shaken, not stirred. They don't mean your head. Yeah. You know, the brainium and the cranium go hand in hand, you know? You know what I mean? There was a crossword I wanted to do because apparently it was like made by a kid. I don't want to do this crossword. This is going to be too much. But I want to there was a crossword that I saw the other day where it was like a kid made this, and I just took a glance at it and it seemed like something I could do. Hold on. New York Times kids crossword by kids for solvers of all ages. Yes, this is the one. Okay, we can do this, guys. We can do the ones that are for kids. I believe in us. I believe we can do this. And if we end up not being able to do it and it's taking too long, then we'll move on. I promise. We will move on. Oh wait, this is not what I want. We need some energy. Here we go. Cash Machine's initials are ATMs. Life-saving skill lifeguards have to use is CPR. I think I can, wrote words repeated by the Lindell engine that could. A spoiled kid is a brat. Word that means shows it all. Skip. Bunch of things in a heap, a pile. Toy that goes up and down on a string. Yo. Got up. Keep. Don't give up. 2 words. Keep it up. How the tortoise wins the race and the tortoise and the hare. 3 words. 3 words. Letters on a camera that stand for single lens reflex. SLR. DSLR. Roman numeral for 1501. Skip. Pen for pigs on a farm is a pig pen. I don't know. Bachelor of Arts college degrees. Bachelor Art BFA. Well, that's a Bachelor of Fine Arts. We'll keep it for now. Slug-like bad guy in Star Wars who was first portrayed by a 1-ton puppet. 3 words. Ooh. It's not... Oh, wait, it is Jabba the Hutt. I was like, it's not Jabba the Hutt. It is. Colorado ski resort. Town named for a kind of tree that's found on mountains. Colorado ski resort town. Boulder. We'll come back. Female deer is a doe. Largest continent in the world by both land area and population is Asia. Vehicle that clears snow from roads is a plow. Slides on the ice or a banana peel maybe is slips. Pants holder upper is a belt. Something you you should follow when playing the game is the rules. Casual word for a casual kind of shirt. T. I get the blank. I understand the main idea. I get the gist. Is that how you spell gist? Oh no. It's either a J or a G. Debate in which people talk to explain why they think they're right. 2 words. I'm always right. Dang it, it almost fit. Large public radio station. Initials. What British people call a bathroom, they call it the loo. You think it's a G for gist? Alright, I'm gonna trust you. Also, I'm saying alpine. Oh, slow and steady. You're just giving me the answers here, but I appreciate it. Halfway. Oh my goodness. And you said alpine for the Colorado. That doesn't fit. Maybe I'm mistaken. A popular name that's the same forwards and backwards is Bob. A place with hot tubs and massage tables is spa. The building blocks of puffy words and a clue to this puzzle's theme. Slow and steady. Puffy words. Jabba the Hutt. Slow and steady. Double letters? Maybe. Finish your dinner. Finish your dinner, then you may have dessert. Have a meal at home. Average Tuesday. Boy's name that rhymes with famous. Amos. Something you string on a bracelet is a bead. A government group that deals with national security is the... Oh, is it FBI or CIA? Central Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation. We'll stick with the CIA for now. Ready to eat like a yellow banana. Ripe. You're my blank. What you might say to Superman if you... Hero. Colorful tablet in an Easter egg kit. Waterproof sheet used for camping. Oh wait, sorry. Quiet sound for getting someone's attention. Psst. Okay, we're almost there. A Grammy-winning rapper whose name rhymes with hardy tree. Okay, that was a little... 65 is try, maybe. Try. 65, try. Try what? Try. Never mind. That's okay. Hey, that's okay. The pros and cons list. Place to take a break when driving on the highway is a rest stop. Shorter way to say bed and breakfast is a B&B. Come on, guys. Is quietly furious. Seethes. Taylor Swift lyric. Wondering if I'd get there quicker if I was... I'm sorry, Taylor. Word a sailor might use I instead of yes. Gemstone is a jewel. Farewell in French, adieu. Something you do without thinking about it, like biting fingernails or ticking your head, is a habit. A chef wears one to stay clean. Apron. Sound made by a noisy noodle eater. Slurp. White furry mammal that lives in the Arctic is a polar bear, which means that this double letters is not correct. Whoops. Flashing light at a party is a strobe. Theme park with sculptures made from plastic toy bricks is Legoland. Is that right? Which means CIA is wrong. Whoops. Pesky insect in a swarm is a gnat. Maybe. What Albania is shortened to at the Olympics. I'm guessing it's ALB. Another word for meanness, not nice. Like a number that you can divide by 2. Even. Playoff rounds before the finals is the semis. Things used on stage are props. Words for a valuable possession is an asset. Computer command used when you made a mistake, undo. Website where people sell handmade things. Etsy. Yes. A waterproof sheet used for camping is a tarp. Roman numeral for 15. I'm still not 100% sure on that. Aspen. The building blocks of debate in which people oral argument. That's such a weird way to say that. Popular name that's the same forwards and backwards is Ava. Bubble letters, that's a clue. Have a meal at home. Eaten or eat in. NSA deals with national security. Colorful tablet in a Easter egg kit is a DIY. No wait, that's die. And then wondering if I'd get here quicker if I was a man. Oh no, the puzzle is filled, but at least one square is wrong. Oh no. B and B. No, we filled it all out, but it's wrong somewhere. Brat. Bears. Yeah. Or shows all. Pile. Yeah. Oh wait, what is this? Apple tablet is an iPad. Keep. Wait, an Apple tablet is an iPad, so this word is wrong. City buses. Muhammad Ali. What you might use is a net. Oh, so close. Keep at it, okay. Instead of keep it up. We got that fixed, but we're still missing something. SLR abyss. Jeez. Troll. Mayor. That all seems right. Wondering if I get there quicker if I was a man. Yes. Taylor Swift. 13 down doesn't look right. But a shorter way to say bed and breakfast is B&B, right? And it also fits with all the other ones. MDI, I think that's right, but I'm not too sure. Apron, slurp, polar bear, jewel, TBH is to be honest. Keehaw, polar bear, undo, ALB, yeah, for Albania. Legoland, strobe, Etsy. Wait, this another word for meanness. Malice. What? Malice. Oh, this was supposed to be easy. I mean, we're so close. Amos. Props, asset. Yeah. Guys. Habit. City bus. Wait, this was wrong. Leaning on an angle. Oh yeah, Bachelor of Arts. Number for sports is a stat. Oh! We got there. Oh. That was stressing me out, but we got it. BAs are Bachelor of Arts degrees, and then we had a tilt. Okay, see, 11 minutes for that, not bad. That is what I call a doable crossword. That's a crossword. That's my speed, and my speed is a fast speed, and that's the kind of speed I like. Wow. Okay. Boom. Got that done out of the way there. So, with that being said, I think that I should tell you guys, and we should talk about the movie I watched last night, which is, we watched a trailer for it the other day. It is Sinners. Sinners is the movie starring Michael B. Jordan, directed by Ryan Coogler, who's the guy that directed Black Panther, and he directed the Creed movies. And this is another edition of his. He works with Michael B. Jordan in like everything he does, which is awesome. You know, he's awesome. And I want to tell you what this movie's about. I don't want to spoil it for you. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't think you guys would like that. Something about this movie that I did not know going into it is that it is about vampires. And it's not, I say that lightly. It's not really about vampires. It's like half about vampires. No, that's not the song I wanted. Is this it? Yeah, it's not really about vampires. Like watching it, I kind of forgot that vampires were in it at some points. It also has Haley Steinfeld in it, which, if you don't know her, she was in the second Pitch Perfect, and she was also Kate Bishop in Hawkeye, and she's the voice of Gwen in the Spider-Verse movies. Anywho, really well performed, and it's about these two brothers who are both played by Michael B. Jordan. These two brothers, Smoke and Stack. Those are their nicknames. I think their real names are like Elijah and Elias. But it's about these two brothers. They were in Chicago for a long time, and I think it's kind of like implied that they worked for Al Capone, or they were doing some not so good stuff, and then they came back home to Mississippi after years with a whole lot of money to open up their own kind of, not really club, but what was the word? They had a word for it. Juke joint. That's it. They want to open their own juke joint, which is this like little establishment that has music and dancing and drinking and sometimes gambling. Basically, they opened up their own little business and invited the people in. There's a lot of history with them in the town, and their story is like pretty interesting, but it's also about this other guy whose name is Sam. He's kind of the main character of the movie, even though he's really small in the poster here. He kind of is the main character because we follow him, like his perspective through it all. But you see how he's carrying the guitar here. He apparently has like the power through music to like summon spirits and summon these like evil to him, which is interesting. The music in this movie was really great. It's like very much blues, and there's a really cool scene where like the blues is so powerful, it's like connecting different blues musicians throughout history, both like past and future, and kind of blues but more just like African music, and like it went into like Afro pop and went all the way back to like tribal Africa. So very interesting there. The vampire stuff was, I mean, it was cool. It was probably my least like impactful part of it, but all that to say, this movie's getting a lot of hype. People are talking about this a lot. And I mean, I had a good time. Like, it's not one that I think is going to become one of my favorites, but like while I was watching, I was like, this is awesome. And yeah, a lot going on, but I think we should go ahead and write our, nope, that's not it. That's not it, guys. That's not what we wanted to see. This is it. This is the one. Here we go. We need to leave our review. Hold on, we got to pull up our review music, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? Definitely dark. I mean, rated R, but a good time. So, without further ado, review. of Sinners. Let's see. This period piece was visually stunning, led by powerful performances from Michael B. and the up and coming, what's the guy's name? What's the guy's name? What's the guy's name? Is it him? Why do they not have a recent picture of him? Anyway, and the up and coming Miles Caton. At some moments, or full disclosure, I should say, full disclosure, I did forget at some moments that there were vampires in this movie. But that's not a terrible thing, because I was so caught up in the story and lives of the characters. The music was superb, and it was a very unique approach to a lot. It is a very unique, and it's a very unique concept that I haven't really seen explored before. Some of the vampire moments were a tad cheesy, but it only highlighted the powerful performances and cultural backdrop that I think the film was really trying to capture. What else do I want to say? I watched it yesterday. What did I say? The visual sign led by Michael B. and the up and coming Miles Caton did forget some of the, but that's not really good. I had a good time, and now, of course, we get our reveal. Yeah, somewhere around there for me. Somewhere around there. Again, it wasn't anything where I was like actively confused. I will say, if you've ever seen Nope, I like this a lot better than Nope. And I only compare them just because they give me similar vibes with this, like, we're following the characters, but then on the side, this like supernatural stuff is happening. But I liked it better than Nope because it made more sense than that. And, you know, if you get a chance to see it, go check it out. I am excited because I am going to go try to see the new Thunderbolts this weekend as well. That is going to be cool. But that is our movie review. I also didn't freaking change my current goal. Do better at changing the current goal. You know what I mean? Do better. So that was Sinners. You saw the Thunderbolts. Oh, I can't wait. I've heard really good things. Yeah, a bit of a long goal there. I've heard really good things about it. And I can only hope that it lives up to it. But I've tried to avoid like spoilers and all that jazz. So going in relatively blind, but I do like a lot of the characters that are in it. Want to watch some trailers? I've got some trailers that I want to check out and kind of react to because I have not seen these yet. Now the first one that I want to look at, and I am going to change my goal, is intriguing to me because it's the first time I've ever seen Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson attempting a serious role. I again have not watched this trailer. I have not watched this trailer at all. I do not really know what it's about. I just saw some imagery for it, and it's supposedly like a very serious role, and that's just not a direction that I would have expected Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to take. So it's also A24, which if you know anything about them, they do a lot of more unique independent films, even though they make enough money where it's not like independent. But yeah, his true acting era begins. So let's take a look at this, see what we think, see what we're feeling from The Rock.
Probably looking at my eyes.
How did that happen?
Well, have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
Yeah.
That's the bloody thing they're trying to ban.
This guy is the best he has ever seen.
Dude, gosh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to pause. Look at how jacked this guy is, dude. It's crazy. Also, does he have like prosthetics on? He looks different. Oh.
Do you hate each other when you fight?
Absolutely not.
How do you know Mark Kerr?
Oh, we go way back.
Mark.
But he's a buddy of mine.
Who?
Come on, baby.
Mark Kerr.
Too much?
Never.
Too much?
No.
Please welcome in his Octagon debut, Mark Kerr!
Whoa.
Winning is the best.
Wait. Is that... For a second, that looked like Emily Blunt. I don't know if that's her.
Winning is the best feeling there is.
Oh, wait, that is her.
It's 40,000 people,
Yeah.
and they're cheering you on. There's no other high like it in the world. No contract, no money?
No money.
Do you have any stronger pain medication?
Advil?
Advil?
Yeah.
Advil. I love Emily
Don,
Blunt.
would you like
No.
some? They're handing them out like candy. Let's all get in. Everybody get in. Hey, Don, can you take this picture for us?
Yeah.
What are you thinking at the beginning of the fight?
It's simple. Am I going to hurt him before he hurts me?
Whoa, dude, he looks so different. I wonder if that's all prosthetic or if they're like digitally messing with his face to make him more look like the original guy.
I'm sure
This Grand Prix to crown the greatest fighter in the world. He has come back from the brink. Let's see if he can pull out a victory over Mark Coleman. Have you spoken to either about fighting such a good friend for a life-changing amount of money?
It looks beautiful.
I just need you to let me in.
Always about you. Only about fighting you.
Let's fucking go. My big strong man, I love you.
Think he wants your autograph?
Sure, no problem. No fighting.
No fighting. October 3rd. Okay. Interesting. Oh, sorry. What else has this Benny guy done? Benny Safdie. Oh, yeah. I've heard his name before. He did I've never seen it. Uncut Gems. Oh wait. Oh no. He's this guy. He's an actor. I know him from Oppenheimer, obviously, but apparently he also wrote Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, and has acted in some other stuff. Interesting. Yeah, he looks different. I mean, it looks really good. I'm not like, clearly if you're going to go for what seems to be like an emotional drama like this, you don't just cast The Rock, willy-nilly. I mean, what he brings to the table for a role like this is like the star power, obviously, get people to watch your movie, and then the body and the physicality of what it looks like they're trying to go for. But, I guess we're going to really see if he can act or not. Of course, it's a super smart idea to put him with Emily Blunt, because she's incredible. Yeah, let's look at the guy. Yeah, he doesn't just look like The Rock, which is good. Let's see, what was the guy's name? Daniel Kerr? No, what was that? Based off of, no, whoa, where was, before it was a worldwide phenomenon, they're talking about UFC. Mark Kerr, Marker, haha. Whoa. I mean, you can definitely see some resemblance. I mean, only in the fact that like they've obviously done good prosthetic work and whatnot to make him similar to it. But yeah, it does look pretty close. Yeah, here's a side by side already. I mean, I can kind of see it. Anyways, don't know anything about Mark Kerr. Don't really know anything about fighting, the UFC kind of world, but looks interesting. He's making a film with Martin. I mean, what is happening? Is rockin'. Is he doing a film with Scorsese? Or are you talking about a different Martin? No, the Rock is joining the next film. Yeah. Very intriguing. It must just be that point in his career. Interesting. No, that looks cool. I want to watch this since we were talking about the Life of Chuck. We were talking about Stephen King. I want to check this out and see what this is about also. This is also in a similar vein. This is from another indie sort of studio called Neon, which they've done less stuff that I know. But what's up, Shabstract? Welcome back. We're watching trailers right now. Let's check it out.
In this moment,
yeah, the trailer was good too.
I am wonderful.
Life of Chuck.
When you look up at the night sky, it can tell you stuff about your future.
Okay.
It won't lie to you. It's pure that way.
Stand By Me too. I need to see that.
You might see a lot more than you wanted.
That's the guy, Flanagan. Didn't he do some like horror stuff for Netflix? Didn't he do like the Fall of the House of Usher? Am I crazy? Haunting of Hill House. Yeah.
But if you have heart,
Tom Hiddleston.
you have.
Oh, shoot. Mark Hamill.
You have hope. And you have heart in you.
He has such a great voice.
The world, Chuck.
everything you've ever loved, everything you see.
Is it a musical?
Every year that you live, that world will get bigger and brighter.
Matthew Lillard. He's back, baby. Shaggy is so back.
Brighter. And more detailed and complex. You fill the whole.
Ooh, It's a Wonderful Life for today.
You fill the whole thing. It'll be a universe.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't that wonderful?
Whoa, The Life of Chuck. Okay, this is one of the June. That's so close. That's so close. In theaters everywhere. Who's the cinematographer for this? Good question. Of Chuck, cinematographer. First of all, Eben Bolter. Sorry. What else has he done? Oh, he did some Last of Us episodes. That's probably the most popular thing. This is a trailer that gets me excited. Also, it looks like there is definitely some musical elements in this, if not it being a musical. But I won't assume anything. The Extraordinary Story of an Ordinary Man. This feels very it feels very fantastical and feels very like it's gonna be sad and heavy, but it's also gonna have that that innocence, like a Forrest Gump type vibe. But there definitely feels like there's some mystical thing sort of happening here. I don't know. I just worry because so often lately I have watched some really awesome trailers, and the trailers hit so much harder than the movie does. Trailers are getting too good. Well, other than the fact that sometimes they give away the whole movie, but trailers are getting too good at their job, because sometimes I'm I watch a movie and I'm I just want to watch the trailer again. Reminds you of Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Yeah, me too, a little bit. There was a recent trailer I watched where the trailer was so cool, and how they cut it. Yeah, Trap. The trailer for this was really dang cool. And how they cut it, and it was so freaky, and I was like, ooh, that's awesome. And then the movie just so I really hope this isn't that situation. Yeah, could be like the Secret Life of Walter Mitty. That would be so cool. So yeah, I love Tom Hiddleston. I think he's awesome. And I mean, Stand By Me, Shawshank, Green Mile, Stephen King is great. So I do have hope. Another movie that made me feel like this, that let me down, was a movie last year that nobody saw called Here, which was from the guy who did Forrest Gump. And it made me so excited because the whole concept of this movie is, Robert Zemeckis. He did Back to the Future as well. The whole concept of the movie is that the whole thing would be shot from one angle, one perspective, and then it would be all these different points in time, and it would just you would follow this family throughout life and all this stuff. It seemed so unique and cool. It had Tom Hanks in it. Just made me super excited. And then I watched it, and it was it was just okay. And I was dang, that was my most excited for the whole year. So anywho, The Life of Chuck, very intriguing, very exciting. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is going to have a sequel, and get this, that is going to be directed by David Finch. Yeah, David Fincher. Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now. Yeah, I heard about that too. That's crazy. Yeah, you know, Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, the original both from Forrest Gump, and nobody saw this. And it just wasn't, it didn't hit story-wise. It was such a cool concept, but anyways, I digress. I'll have to check that out. I have to tell you guys a story. I do have one more trailer, but I have to tell you all a bit of a story. And that is that I am in a movie that is coming out in a few months. That's really loud. I'm in a movie that is coming out literally in a few months, and the trailer dropped just last week. Yeah, it's true. And I want to tell you the story about how I ended up on this movie. Before, it's cool, right? So before I came to SCAD, where I'm at now, as I was kind of going in, I'm on the SCAD running team, right? I'm on the SCAD cross country team. So I started like connecting with people. I started like, you know, meeting my new friends and getting in like this group chat. And the group chat came in, and someone came in from it who was a film student, and she was like, hey, down here in Savannah, if anyone's nearby, there is this really cool opportunity for you to be an extra in a film that's coming up. And it's starring Rebel Wilson, and it's starring Anna Camp, who was also in the Pitch Perfect movies. And so I was like, you know, I haven't really done anything like professional film wise. This seems like I could drive down, I would get paid for it. So I put in the application. It was just like a random thing, and they said, yeah, come on down. Which was suspicious to me, just because like I was not expecting that, and I was like, is this a real movie? And I went down. They like fitted me for like a jacket. It's like wedding attire. The movie is called, and get this, it's called Bride Hard. You know, Die Hard. You know how Die Hard is, you know, Bruce Willis, that masterpiece of a Christmas movie. This is like not really it's kind of related in that they're kind of ripping it off, but it's called Bride Hard. And it is starring Rebel Wilson, Anna Camp. You've probably never heard of it. But it's real. I didn't think it was going to be real for a while, because we filmed it in the summer of 2023. And I was only there for literally like 2 scenes. I shot for like 3 days on it. I wasn't one of the like main extras. I was just here to be part of like this wedding party. And so I was there to be a part of the wedding party. I literally was only shooting for like 2 scenes, but it was a really cool experience because I'd never really been on like a professional film set before. And so I was like meeting other people. I got to meet, you know, the friend who had recommended it because she was also being an extra on the movie. And that was a cool experience, but I got to see, I didn't get to meet anyone like famous, but I got to see Rebel Wilson and Anna Camp in person. Bride Hard is the title is a bit sus. Yes, I understand. Also, I didn't mention this, but Shin, thank you for jumping in here, and I'm glad that you're excited and jumping into the channel. Yeah, no, it's a W. It is an absolute dub. Also, Kay, you said, I think as a creative, this field, it is also collaborative, and there's a quote, it's not what you know, but who you know. Yeah, connections are important. So anyways, I'll talk more about the experience, but I think we should just, I think we should watch this trailer and just get a vibe, because I saw this last week. It wasn't even on my radar, and then all of a sudden trailer. And then I'll point out the scene or scenes that I was there for. So
We're gonna save everybody together.
I look like the dancing girl emoji.
You guys, tonight is gonna be the best bachelorette party ever because it was organized by my oldest friend, Sam!
Come up, I just have to go.
What? Sam?
Okay, boys and girls, operation's happening tonight.
I'm going to get the package.
Who runs out on their best friend's bachelorette?
What is her job that is so important?
Dude, okay. I will say, quick side note, this is Divine Joy Randolph. I shot this with her, and I got to see her. I already knew her from, she was in Only Murders in the Building, and she was great. She's a great comedic character. And so I was already excited that, like, oh my gosh, I get to be on set with her. This was before she won her Oscar for being on The Holdovers as Best Supporting Actress. So I have been on a film set with an Oscar-winning actress. I don't mean to brag, but like that's kind of cool. Anyways.
That was so my bad. It was just crazy work emergency.
We changed all of our plans for you, and then you just disappeared. Virginia, would you be my new maid of honor?
Oh.
Sam, you actually made it.
Virginia's really throwing herself into the preparations.
I tried to get the right flowers for everybody. I think there's something wrong with my flowers. I look like the dancing girl emoji.
Hey, I saw that cool trick you did with the bamboo.
I was just seeing how hard I could blow. Turns out quite hard.
Sorry to interrupt the happy occasion, folks. We're here for one reason. Hey, you are not supposed to be in here.
Did I miss the wedding?
Is this normal for an American wedding?
Guys, I just saw Sam. She's not who I thought she was. She's a total badass secret agent. Do you even feel pain?
I'm human, aren't I?
Oh, I don't know. Are you?
This is a solo mission.
No! We're gonna save everybody together.
It's time we start killing some people.
Hey, don't play with her.
I know I've let you down as a friend, but I did kill a bunch of dudes for you.
That means a lot to me.
Right, how does this thing work?
What? I thought secret agents knew how to drive everything.
Not female secret agents?
What?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, here we go!
June 20th, again, not that far. So, Absolute Cinema. Oh, that's the joke I was going to make for my Sinners review. I was going to say Absolute Cinema. Come back to it. So, this looks fun, right? Like, okay, you know, it's some production companies I've never heard of before. It's not, you know, the type of movie that we just watched some trailers for, but this looks like a fun little action comedy kind of jig here. Oh, you just watched Sinners today? Dude, what'd you think? Or dudette. How should I know? Yeah, meeting an Oscar winner before she wins is one hell of a two truths and a lie story. Like, that is really cool. So, yes, this is cool. I did not know if this movie was ever going to actually make it, because obviously, you know, when you're an extra on set, like, you know, they treat you well, but they're not like, you're not like friends with everyone after, and like, you don't know, you don't really know what's going on in the production of the movie, even, you know, actor wise, but it's here and it's coming out in June, and I'm excited to see it I'm excited to see it just because it looks fun. I'm excited to see it because I got to be on set for this thing, and like, maybe I'll see myself. So the two scenes that I was here for, were this dancing scene here. This is like the reception after the wedding ceremony. And so I was in this scene here as an extra, trying to see if I see myself anywhere. If only this guy over here was me. That would be so fun. But I was here for this dancing scene, and this was like really late. This was like almost midnight when they were filming this. And dude, they had these girls, these actresses had this dance routine that they did like maybe 10 times. Like they did it a lot, which was crazy. And there was even like, they were getting like a little mad on set because like either the director said something or the extras weren't being like excited enough or doing something wrong. And they were like, listen, these girls have worked so hard to learn this choreography over all these days, and you guys can't mess this up. And so they had to keep redoing it. And this actress here, she actually was like falling into this thing of flowers over and over again. Also, this wasn't like or I'm trying to remember if it was a stunt double or not. Now I'm not so sure. My memory's failing me. But I feel like it was actually just her. So that was a cool scene to see. And then I don't think we were really here for this part.
Quite hard. Did I?
And then this section here, this was the other scene that I got to sit in. And I was looking through it. I could have sworn this was me at one point, but then I realized it was a woman with a bun in her hair. But when they're like holding up the wedding and they're like, you know, looks like we need to kill some people. Like, I don't really know the story of what's going on, but I knew that like we got to pretend to be, or we got to act and be scared and like freak out as these guys were holding up the place. And here's the awkward part though. Here's the kicker.
Sorry to interrupt the happy.
This one shot here where you get this wide view of like everyone in the crowd. I am somewhere back here. I'm somewhere off screen, like I'm trying to swipe that way. I'm sitting over in the back right. And they didn't even give us like specific seating. We just sat down where there was space. Had I known that the camera was going to be like over on the left and to the front the whole time, I would have sat closer to the front or on the left side. I am sadly not in frame anywhere here as far as I know. This yellow dress looks kind of familiar, but so close to being there, but alas, I don't think I'm quite in this shot, and I'm curious if I will be in the background or anything. But anywho, either way, I think that is pretty exciting and fun. Shin, you said, honestly, this movie seems fun because you've always enjoyed action comedies. Hold on, give me 1 second. Guys, my roommate wants to say hello to the stream. Take it away.
Hello. Some of you may know me as Rowan. I go by your boy. I just got back from class. I'm very sorry.
I smelled it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they can smell it too.
Yeah. Smell it through the screen. What are you working on?
I'm talking about the movie that I was an extra in and is coming out in June.
What?
Yeah, but I'm not in any of the clips in the trailer, unfortunately. But it's gonna come.
Seeing how hard
it's gonna
I could
happen, and we're gonna watch the whole thing to find me.
You didn't tell me about this.
I'm sure I did, but it has been a minute. It's been a while. This was before SCAD that I filmed this, or was a part of it. But
it's the same thing as Carlotta when you don't even tell us.
Okay, you're gonna just Why don't you make like a tree and get out of here? Thank you. Is my dude high? Honestly, probably. He's probably high on something or another. Yes, being in the back right is sad. Anyway, what were you saying, Shin, before we were so rudely interrupted? Hit the gritty. It's too late. It's too late. Maybe if I'm feeling nice, I'll hit the gritty for you guys later. But Shin, you were saying, honestly, this movie seems fun because I've always enjoyed action comedies. It always takes me back to 21 Jump Street. Yeah, it does look fun. Like, I was, of course, like, being on set, you're, like, doing the same thing over and over again, and you're seeing the actors, like, do their best and worst takes, and so you're like, is this actually going to be any good? It looks fun. So, yeah, typical action flick, like, working man type of stuff. Yeah, I would want to find myself. But anywho, that's our trailers for today. We did it. And I am going to watch this, and I will let you know. I will let you know if I actually show up at all, or if I'm completely cropped out of every frame. But it was a cool experience, and I'm sure when I watch more, I will remember more times from it. And that was my first introduction to life in Savannah and life in the film world. That dude looks like he touches grass, unlike me. Lol. Also, Shin, you were talking about Sinners. You said the music had you hooked. Just the first scene with Sammy in the church, I knew it was going to be an absolute cinema moment. The music was a standout highlight for that movie. Oh, that's loud. It was really good. Which is important, I think, for the story that they were telling with like music and all that. But yeah, great time. So yeah, cropped images, now cropped movies. So you know what we have to do now. You know what we have to do now, and what we have to do is we have to get down to business. It's time to get down to business, gang. It's time to do what we came here to do. Oh, great. Final Draft is making me install an update. Hold on, guys. We're downloading. We're downloading the... Please hold. The danger will commence. Oh, there it is. There it is. I see it. Writing. New file. Okay, enough of that. It's time to get serious. And by serious, I mean write. And by serious, I mean write a short film, like I said I was going to do. Yes, so I have an assignment for class, and that assignment is to write a narrative short film, which, if you don't know what a narrative short film is, think of pretty much most short films you've ever seen, and that's what it is. It's basically just like a normal type of deal. It's what you think of when you think of a good story movie. It's, you know, what's most popular in the short film kind of circuit is narratives. We basically have the free reign to do what we want. It needs to be 8 to 12 pages, as far as I know. And it, is that too loud? No, that's perfect. it needs to be 8 to 12 pages, and we need to tell some sort of good narrative, and have some characters that we care about. You know, we like characters to care about, right? Right. So that being said, let me move my junk around so I can see. Wait, pause. I like that. Writing. Okay, just to wrap up on Sinners, even the double role felt like two different people not playing the same actor. Well, what is funny is that my friend who went to see it didn't know anything about Michael B. Jordan, and when I told her after that it was the same guy, she didn't think it was the same guy, so he played that well enough. Right. Yes, we get to write. Will that have narration to call a narrative short film? No, not a stupid question. Okay, not a stupid question. All right, we don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents. No, it doesn't necessarily have to have narration. It just has to tell a narrative. It's basically like saying story short film. So it's anywho. I keep saying anywho a lot lately. I have a problem. Sharp Shark, you said, I think a key to a great short film is the same as movie, which is character development. Yeah. I've done a few short films in my time. I've done a short or two. And I've done a few that's more like silent short films, because honestly, when it's like short, I feel like that works better, because dialogue can take up time when you don't have to have dialogue. But this being 8 to 12 pages, I do have an idea for it, and I want to challenge myself to writing it in its entirety in an hour and a half, which, you know, might be a lot, or it might not be enough time. However, I think sitting on things and waiting to start and try to come up with the perfect idea just doesn't work super well for me, and I like to put that time limit on myself so that I just have to like get started, no excuses, and from there I'm able to figure out what we want to go from there. So let me set up my timer here. Let's set up what we're doing. Timer, please, maybe. Oh, that's the wrong timer. Clock. Hello, my friend. I want to see where the clock is, but unfortunately, it is hidden from my sight. Hello, where are you? Screen capture, guys. Anywhere? Anyone? Oh no, that's not what we're fine. Nothing happened.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
No mistakes.
Chicken jockey!
No, stop, please, guys, please. Technical difficulties aside, let's not play games here. Can we do that? Oh, hello, beautiful. Let's shrink you down and get you exactly where we want you, which is right next to me. That good? I also got to change my task. Guys, I'm trying to be a good streamer. I'm trying my darndest. Short in 90. Oh, come back, please. Everything's fine. Everything is a-okay. Hey, look at me. It's fine. Everything's good. Current goal, writing a short in 90 minutes. Look at that. Yeah. maybe a small amount of time, but it could take more time after this. It's a good starting point. Yeah, that's the other thing is rewriting is writing, and just getting it out of your head is often a good place to start in everything you're trying to do. So, with that being said, first I will tell you what my idea is. I'll get kind of a lay of the land of what you guys think about that. And then I'll put 90 minutes on the clock and we're just gonna go. And I also did a small exercise in class to like flesh out one of my characters, but we're starting with an idea and a mission, okay? We have an idea and we have a mission. And our mission is to write this short film in 90 minutes and to write it so dang good that Christopher Nolan himself is gonna look at it and be like, that guy, that's my screenwriter, baby. I'm done writing my own features. I'm gonna let him loose. Kay, you said you're a slow writer, so definitely something I admire, but not possible to write in less than 2 hours. Yeah, it's something I'm practicing and working on too. I never thought I'd stop watching Tarkovsky to watch. It is kind of fun. Oh, you guys, you're gonna make me blush. Stop. Oh, this is so sweet. I wish I had a sound effect that was like, I love you guys. But the best I can do is, so that's my expression of love to you today. So yes, my idea for this short, it's an idea that I've had for a minute, and it is to do a short, you know how it's May now, how like we're starting to get into the summer sort of months, you know, feeling it out of, it's summertime's coming, okay? We can't deny it. In the summertime, when the weather is high, you want to reach right up and touch the sky, you know? And so in lieu of that, I had this idea for a short film, which is all about Christmas. Christmas, you know, I had this idea where, you know how some people, my family included, you know how some people go nuts over Christmas and they're like, okay, Halloween's over, Christmas is up. You know, we're putting up the decorations. It's full-blown Christmas music, Christmas movies all the way until December 25th, where we got that Christmas, you know, November 1st. And while other people are like strict, you know, I don't even want to see a jingle bell outside of the month of December, let alone do all of this Christmas hubbub. So my idea is kind of based around that. And it's also based around how, like, the holidays are a very confusing time. Sometimes they bring a lot of emotion, and sometimes that emotion is very positive and very, like, euphoric and exciting. And other times, like, depending on who you spent the holidays with or who you don't get to spend the holidays with, it can be a really hard time, and it can be a time that just reminds you that you don't get to be with your loved ones, whether you've lost them or whether they're far away. And so there's that like balance there. And so that's what I want to do. I want to build this like feud between two neighbors, one Christmas all the way neighbor, one no Christmas neighbor. And we're going to see where that goes. And then in the end, maybe they can like come together and relate in the fact that they both love and don't love Christmas for different reasons. What do we think about that? It's an idea, definitely needs to be fleshed out more. I'm thinking that we get a little like crazy with like the antics as they're like trying to sabotage each other. Could be fun, could be quirky. And it's May, which means we got to get into the Christmas spirit, It's right around the corner, guys. It is right around the gosh darn corner. To answer your question, Shabstract, yes, there is a format for scripts. I just don't have the time to get into it now, but maybe as you watch, ask a question or two and I'll fill in from there. One only yearns for another in their absence. Yeah, feeling Otto, Tom Hanks. Ooh, I do love, or I have only watched it once, but the A Man Called Otto, yeah, very anti-Christmas family. Maybe in the end they do Snow Wars, have fun. Snow Wars, snow fight. Well, sounds like that we are going in on this idea, and that means no more delays, no more dilly-dallying. It's time to get this thing rolling. If we're ready, I'm ready. 90 minutes on the clock. Oh, wait. My music wasn't working. This is very important that we do this, guys. Also, just fair warning, anytime I say my music isn't working, OBS has had the tendency to just shut down on me when I try to restart it. That's what happened on yesterday's stream. So just fair warning, that is kind of like we could blow up at any moment sort of thing. Not to make you panic, but here we go. 90 minutes on the clock. Let's do this. Boom. Okay. So our concept for this, you know, we can't even start on the page. We got to start on like a brainstorming page. This is like the script writing page. And a brainstorming page, a blank page is one of the scariest things to see as a writer, because there's just infinite potential for good and bad, and you just don't know where to start. I'm going to have this. This was my brainstorming notes from class. Oh, gosh. We're running out of time, guys. I don't know if we're going to do this. Yes. This was my brainstorming during class. The two characters that I kind of think we can set up here are, their names are Ruby and Margot. Those are kind of, which, to be honest, it kind of gives me like old person vibes. But if we're starting with a blank page here, you know, starting with a blank page, and we've got on one side we've got Ruby, and we've got Margot, right? Ruby and Margot. They're on opposite sides here, and they are feuding. There's this divide here, because Ruby is 1,000%, 1,000,000,000% November 1st. It is Christmas time, Christmas decorations, all that jazz. We're getting the red and the green all over the gosh darn neighborhood. Meanwhile, Margot is like, you know, we gotta respect Thanksgiving, which is an argument I've heard a lot from people of like, why don't you give Thanksgiving all of the love? That's because Thanksgiving is nowhere near as fun as Christmas, and it's not just about the gifts, okay? And I love Thanksgiving as much as the next guy. I like to eat. I like to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I'm not denying that. It just doesn't hold a candle to Christmas, and that's my formal statement. However, that being said, I do think that for this short, the protagonist, the person we follow, I think should be Margot. And the reason I say that, and you guys might disagree with me, I feel like it's easier to relate to the hold off on Christmas person. Like, I feel like majority of people, and we can like pull it out here, see how we feel. I feel like majority of people are on the like Christmas, like for 2 months. That's like so much, which I get. Like, I understand when the radio station in October lead all the way through the November is playing Mariah Carey. Like, I feel that's a lot. But we have our characters here, and I kind of think Margot can be our lead lady. and I kind of developed a few things with her. We did this experiment where she is we talked about like her main character flaws. So I said she's like closed off to others, she's isolated, and then we went through this sort of like, you know, who is she, how would she deal with this situation. Gosh, word, please word. Whatever, the drawings can stay at the bottom. But all that being said, with Margot, our main character, you know, what I'm thinking is that she doesn't like Christmas, especially on November, especially starting on November 1st, right? Like that's just too soon for her. And her reasoning behind that is that she has lost someone that she used to really enjoy spending the holidays with. You know, that's tough. But we're not gonna like reveal that immediately. Like for a while we might just think, oh, who's this cranky? I keep wanting to think she's like an old lady. That could be fun if we had like two feuding grandmas. But she doesn't like Christmas, especially in November. Lost someone used to enjoy the holidays with, feuding with her neighbor, Ruby. Okay, you said maybe Margot doesn't hate Christmas, maybe she just wants to be the host of Christmas, but Ruby did it, so now she wants to host Thanksgiving, which Ruby did already, so Margot's maybe trying to sabotage Ruby for... I gotcha. That's definitely a take as well. We could go into like, you know, maybe she doesn't hate Christmas. I really want to like, I want to have some sort of dialogue or explore at the end that the idea that Ruby also is, you know, not just doing this Christmas stuff to be annoying to Margot, but she's doing it also out of this emotional space of like, she loves Christmas because it reminds her of her family, or maybe she also lost someone, but it wasn't as recent, and so she kind of feels like she's taking on the mantle of like the early Christmas stuff. So something like that, because it could be really cool if they had like a heart-to-heart at the end where it's like, you know what, you know, you don't like Christmas because you lost this person, you love this Christmas because it reminds you of times you got to have with this person, and like simpler times, childhood kind of thing. Christmas reminds her of like her mom or something. Like my mom used to lead Christmas all the time, and maybe Margot lost her husband or something, and so she kind of like, she's kind of a loner. She's isolated herself. She's basically like Carl Fredricksen from Up, but you know, people don't give her the benefit of the doubt. They just assume like, oh, she's the cranky old lady, but then when you get to know her more, she actually has like heart behind her. Let's plan out what we want to happen. You know, if we have a general sense of the characters, we don't need to super flesh them out yet, but if we get just like a timeline here, you know, like, oh, come on, come on. Yeah, this is the timeline of our short film, and also you can't see that fully. It's gonna eat into my time, but for you guys to see, it's worth it. Okay, maybe that was a little too far. So that's our timeline of the short film. Okay, you said maybe in the end Ruby comes to Margot to invite her. Margot's shouting, saying mean things about Ruby. Ruby goes, I'm leaving next year so you can have fun, and really Margot really goes to Ruby, spend time with her. Maybe she actually liked Margot, provides her home to Ruby. Yeah, I definitely want, it's a holiday film, and I feel like we're playing on that, like, oh, this is a fun, like, feud thing. It's Christmas versus anti-Christmas, and, like, we have fun with that for a while, but then we can have, like, the sad but then heartwarming ending of, like, okay, well, they kind of come together, and they find a way to enjoy the holidays in a new way and, like, still respect each other. That kind of heartfelt thing. So, like, if we have our 3 acts here, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, right? And this is like give or take, but let's say we're doing like a full 12 pages, just because I can see myself like writing a lot for this. But if it's like the full 12 pages, then let's say Act 1 is like 3. Act 1's like 3 pages. Act 2 is 7 pages, and Act 3 is 2 pages. Just to give us a general sense, that's usually like the breakup of it. Thanksgiving doesn't have enough songs for it. Exactly. There's just too much Christmas content, films, music to binge in like 1 month. So there's like a moment of decision here. I think what we want, since this is like the fun and games, right? The Act 2, fun and games is like this escalating. Oh gosh, that is so thick. This escalating tension of the feud, or the sabotage, I should say. Sabotage. I'm also trying to think if how long they've been neighbors. Is this something that like Margot knows Ruby is gonna do, and so she's preparing for it? Because we've kind of also got like this Grinchy story going on here, where she is like, I must stop this Christmas from coming, kind of thing. But I do want there to be like this fighting back. Like, I can imagine like Margot unscrews all like some of her lights to mess up her decoration, and then the next day she comes out and Ruby has filled her yard with inflatables, like something like that. In Act 1, we need to establish who Margot is, and a little bit of Ruby, but we need to establish Margot first and foremost, and then dive into get a touch of Ruby, establish Margot. It's November 1st. Like, maybe we can even start like it's Halloween, and we start with like Halloween decorations, and then the very next day it's like Christmas carols are happening. Are you not feeling adrenaline seeing the time running out? Definitely very calm when I tried this 90 minutes thing. Yeah, Margot pretends like she's nice. Yeah, we got to do something with that. I think it's very important for me to decide, and us to decide now, whether we want them to be old ladies or not. Because, Ruby and Margot, they sound like they could be older names. I know I just, named them because these sound like good names for the characters. But I feel like it could be like add to the comedy if they are older ladies. And maybe they don't even have to be grandmas, but, they're... Like, I feel like Ruby has a ton of, like, kids and a family. Margot doesn't, but she's still, like, an older lady. maybe we could bring in one of Ruby's kids. Yeah, Ruby could be a bit younger. We could bring in one of Ruby's kids as a character. And that would be kind of a cute way to like bring some humanity to Margot, because maybe she sees this isn't just for her or affecting her, but it's affecting her kids. You think Ruby's like a college kid? Maybe. Maybe. Though I feel like college kids' priorities are less on like the decoration stuff. Like that feels like a much more middle-age kind of fixation. Still be good if they were similar age, maybe less than 10 years. Yeah. I can see both of those. Maybe Margot has a 2-floor building, apartment, Ruby. Yeah. I can see it working any of those ways. You know, it's just kind of like feeling out what's gonna leave the most room to like have comedic moments or those emotional moments. Don't do that. Oh dear. I'm just gonna kind of like stream of thought, just ideas I have for it right now, and then we'll look at that and see what happens. So it's like we open with Margot. It's Halloween. Establish she's not so good with kids. Look over to next door neighbor. Ruby is handing things out. Kids run over to Ruby to avoid Margot. Margot talks to Ruby, asks her not to be so crazy with the decorations this year, introduce some decoration contest Ruby's in next day, or maybe Margot has some item or sets out dinner for a second person, even though it's just her, and then establishing someone lost. Next day, bright lights outside, loud carols singing. Ruby is up and carting in a U-Haul of Christmas decorations. Margot protests, tries to ignore, but the decorations are have you ever seen one of those like singing Christmas houses? That'd be kind of fun. If it's like constant music is happening. House. Margot creates a game plan. Montage of sabotaging, back and forth. Margot unplug it, and it needs to escalate. Margot could unplug the lights. Ruby puts a tree on her front porch. Margot burns it and puts it in their garage. Ruby hires a fake Santa and reindeer to set themselves up outside of the house. And maybe Ruby earlier on invites Margot to join in the festivities. What other fun sabotagey things could we have them do back and forth to each other? Like what would be something so drastic? It'd be funny if she got them if she cooked them like venison for a deer. What are you saying, guys? Okay, maybe it's a bit dark, but Margot wanted kids, had some issue, husband dies, she's so old, sad. Ruby is young, maybe not in college, but young for Margot, and to end has to be a mother figure for Ruby. Yeah, I like that. I don't like that her life is hard, but I do for as a character. Yeah, I like that there could be also a relation thing there with the kids. This is the classic thing, but something has to like go too far to push it over the edge, and I'm curious which one is going to be the one to break down. I think what's going to be good, because Margot is this like closed off person, is that like Ruby is the one who starts to break down, and then Margot steps out of her comfort zone to go talk to her, and then that's when they can reveal. Yeah, so big final act goes wrong, puts kids in danger. Maybe what happens is we put the kids in danger, like they had this big blowout, Ruby yells at her, Margot goes back into her home, she's sad, she goes out on her porch, like she's looking over and Ruby's not doing well. The kid comes over and like says something that kind of sparks something in Margot. Then Margot goes over to talk to Ruby. They open up to each other. They have like Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner together, and they come to some sort of common ground. Margot helping is a nice thing. Maybe she doesn't like Christmas but starts to like Ruby now. Yeah, like just because you aren't crazy about Christmas doesn't mean you can't be kind. Like embody the spirit of Christmas, I guess I could say. What's the big final act that like would put the kids in danger? Like what would be something that's like silly and drastic? Like she makes an ornament Gatling gun or something, you know? She Margot torches Santa and puts it in her garage. Maybe a little too far there. What are we thinking? Maybe it's like the Santa doesn't arrive, no costumes. Ruby's sad. Why is this jazz playing Happy Birthday? That's not distracting at all. So Margot gives her a Santa outfit. Yeah, there's something. Like this could take place over the course of like a week, and at the end of the week is like the big competition or something, like the big decorations. Like that would be a cute thing too, not just that they had dinner together, but if Ruby is trying to do this for some like Christmas decoration thing, the only like logic flaw in that is like, why are they holding Christmas decoration contest in November? Yeah, that doesn't make the most sense. But maybe we could like flash forward, and by the time it gets to December, like they have that, you know. Margot, what did you do? Big final act goes wrong, puts kids in danger. Margot and Ruby blow up at each other. Kid goes over to talk to Margot. Margot talks to Ruby. They share why they feel this way. They come together. They join forces on the decorations and have Christmas dinner together. Yeah, maybe fast forward, still fighting with each other. Yeah, like I think what we go with Ruby's motivation is not just that she loves the spirit of the season, but like she can be talking about how this big competition is coming up, you know, gotta have best decorated house, and gotta start early kind of thing. And then it's like she's trying to sabotage that, and it's in the end Margot lets her also decorate her house, so they have like this joined big decorated thing, and so they end up winning the prize. And then Margot gets what she really needs, which is like a Christmas with people, and not just herself. That can work. The last thing I'm trying to brainstorm before we hit the page is what this big thing is that happens. What goes horribly wrong. So far we have, you know, unplugging the lights, puts a tree on the front porch, puts in their garage, fake Santa and reindeer, big final act. You know, she maybe Marva takes all the decorations after the competition and gives a little smile. Yeah, that'd be fun. Think what's fun family feuds, things you could do Christmassy. Okay, wait, I thought of another one for Ruby. Ruby gift wraps Margot's car. It's kind of fun. Margot slashes Ruby's tires. Margot shovels all the reindeer poop and puts it in a pile in Ruby's yard. Maybe Ruby sends all the kids in the block to Margot's house, saying Margot is Santa's wife, and maybe the gift wrap the Margot's car, Ruby sends all the kids in the neighborhood caroling with candy at the house. You know, just send a whole bunch of kids over. And then like Margot does something drastic, and I don't think she should hurt the kids, but she should do something where it's like, oh gosh, did I accidentally put this kid in danger? Like, she could cross the line. She could go one step too far, and like she pulls out a flamethrower and torches the kids. Margot pulls out her leaf blower and starts running after the kids. And we have like a Carl Fredricksen moment from Up where like she's about to hit the kid or something. But it's could be a misunderstanding. The kid falls to the ground. Yeah, now he's crying. Like, something's gonna awaken Mama Bear in Ruby. Yeah. Goes after Ruby's son. He gets hurt. Yeah. Something like that. Okay. We're officially at an hour left. We have our stream of thought here. I'm gonna put this in bullet points, and then we're just gonna go and write. Yep. Boom. Margot should calm the kid, not Ruby. Yeah. Escalates. Okay. Hopefully it's structured where we could get this in like about 12 pages. It's okay if it's a little more or a little less than 8, but I don't think it's going to be less than 8. I think it's going to be more, and I just want to make sure we get that. Okay. I have that document pulled off to the side now. Oh, now it's really small too. Let's open our final draft, which is just the program that I'm using, and let me put it up. Yup. Okay, and we'll zoom in a tad. Awesome. Okay, let's get crack-a-lackin'. Open with Margot. It's Halloween. Okay. Exterior. Margot's house. Exterior Margot's house. Night. Alrighty. Kids. Kids run around in various costumes, holding buckets of candy. Margot, a grouchy looking lady in her mid 60s, we'll say, Come back to me. A grouchy looking lady in her mid-60s sits on the front porch. A bowl full of candy in her lap. She not how would you say that? She nods off. Now let the games begin. Maybe start with Margot's flashback. Margot's nice to kids. We'll get there. Like this will establish like she wants the kids to be near her, but she's doesn't know how. A bowl full of candy in her lap. Sits on the front porch, a bowl full of candy. She rocks gently and catches herself from falling asleep. A group of 3 kids come up to her. Oh, hi. You want some candy? I don't know. She should be grouchier than that. Her walk slowly up to her. Well, aren't you supposed to say something? Like she's like, you should be saying trick or treat. A kid, what's a profession? Doctor. What's a costume that he could be wearing? The burger kid. Small. The burger kid, a kid in a burger suit, walks up inches closer. Trick or treat? Margot grabs a full of hard candy. Grabs a candy and holds it out for the kid. He timidly approaches and quickly snatches it out of her hand. I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to like get the words right perfect, and I need to stop doing that and just like let it be stream of thought so we can come back and fix it later. He timidly approaches it and quickly snatches it out of her hand. The group runs away screaming. They cross over the yard to the next door neighbor. Ruby, a jolly woman, in her mid 40s. You said maybe Margot doesn't have candy, and the kid comes and asks, but she yells at them to go away. Well, we don't want her to be a psychopath immediately. Like, she's against Christmas, you know, specifically. So, jolly woman in her mid 40s. Out the front door. Hey, kids. You want some candy? Burger Kid. Yeah. Tricks or treat. Trick or treats. She takes pre-made goodie bags. Sorry, that thing keeps going away because I have it hooked up to the minus sign. She takes pre-made goodie bags with chocolate bars and fruity sweets and hands one to each of them. They shriek with excitement. You go on home now. I feel like she has like a Midwestern accent, like, oh, don't you know? You all go on home now. It's getting late, don't you know? It's getting pretty late. Don't you know? Margot looks on. Margot glares at Ruby. She sets the bowl down and oh gosh, we're almost halfway through our time. It's fine, okay? We have a plan. Margot glares at Ruby. She sets the bowl down and walks across to meet her. Good evening, neighbor. Good evening. Good evening, Margot. Our street's been getting a lot of action tonight. Action tonight. Never mind that. Never mind that. Never mind. How do you spell never mind? Is that wrong? Never mind, never mind. Snot-nosed brats. Snot-nosed brats. Last thing they need is a belly full of sugar. Where are your munchkins tonight? Oh, you know. Here and there. Oh, you know, here and there. They'll be home. They'll be home for too long. Say, you know what tomorrow is? Tuesday. November 1st. We all know what that means. Margot groans and puts her and rubs her temple, you know. Groans and rubs her temple. Ruby, not this again. Maybe we don't say it directly, but we like kind of hint at it. Don't worry. Maybe they're like newer neighbors. Maybe they shouldn't know each other super well. I don't know. What that means. What's how many days in the year after November 1st? Difference between two dates. Yeah, can we get that real quick? December 31st. November 1st. It's 61 days. Yeah. 61 days. All it means, all it should mean is 61 days before we start over. We start again. I'm also starting to think that maybe she shouldn't walk over. Maybe Ruby should come over. But we'll fix that later. 45 minutes left, halfway through the time. We're on our second page of 12, but again, half an hour of that was planning. So we're going to start cruising here. All it should mean is 61 days before we start the next meaningless year. Man, that's sad dialogue. Oh. Right. Well, it's getting pretty late. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say? Might be good to turn in. Might be good. Might be good to turn in and tuck in. She laughs hysterically. Margot stares. Right. She walks back to her house. Margot, what? Margot, wherefore art thou, Margot? She walks back to her house, hobbles up the porch stairs, and slams the front door. Night night. No. Ugh. Hiya. Ruby waves. Good night. Good night. Okay. Interior. We're in a new scene. Interior, Margot's house. Margot takes a deep breath at the front door. She changes into her nightgown and puts what could she be cooking? She could be making risotto. risotto, and puts macaroni. What's an old person food? Oh no, my face cam is gone. Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm gone. I'm back. Puts dinner on the stove. She hums a soft tune. She sets the table with 2 place settings. She sets the table with 2 place settings. No. We won't do that yet. She sits down and she sits alone at the table. At a dining table. At the table. And what does she do? And eats quietly. Eats quietly. Maybe she should set up. She sets 2 place settings at the table. And she the 2 place settings at the table and sits down to eat alone. I know it's burnt. She lays down in bed. No. We don't need that. I know it's burnt. I'm sorry. The room is quiet. Nobody responds. She looks down at her plate and looks back and looks across from her. Fine. Here you go. She switches the plates and continues eating. Okay. There might be more to that scene, but for now, I'm gonna bedroom day. For now, I'm gonna keep going. Blinding light streaks through the blinds onto Margot's face. A loud beeping. A loud beeping wakes her up. She slams her alarm, but the beeping continues. She stumbles out of bed and looks outside her window. She gasps. Exterior. Ruby's house. Day. A Large moving truck backs into the driveway. Ruby sits in the front seat with a giant grin. No. Ruby stands in the yard with a giant grin on her face. The truck stops and Ruby locks the back. The door, the shutter opens to reveal the most Christmas decorations, to reveal every Christmas decoration in existence. In existence. The shutter opens to reveal every Christmas decoration in existence. Trees, inflatables, lights, candy canes, plastic reindeer, and the like. Flow out of the truck are crammed into the space. I think I need to trees, inflatables, lights, candy canes, plastic reindeer, are crammed together. Ruby puts her hands on her hips. Yes. Yes. Interior. We're back with Margot. Margot's house. Day. Margot rushes to get her clothes on. It's going all right. We've got 33 minutes and a lot more progress to make. So I either need to speed up or time needs to slow down. Margot rushes to get her clothes on. She passes by an obscured a framed photograph that's obscured by a glare. No. Not this year. Here. Margot steps onto the front porch with her clothes haphazardly. That's not how you spell that at all. Thrown. How do you spell it? Tell me. Tell me how, please. No, haphazardly. Please. That is a word. That's how you spell it. I'm not crazy. This thing's crazy. Haphazardly. Yeah. Anyways. Whether it goes thrown together. Slippers leading the way. Slippers leading the way. Ruby has unloaded the truck and is whistling to herself. Ruby. Ruby. Oh. Why, good morning, Margot. Gee. You're up and at 'em this morning. Please tell me whistles to herself. Please tell me this is all going into storage. Okay, guys, we have 30 minutes left. I need to start speed writing so that we can come back and revise after. But it's taken too long to get 4 pages done. Not even 3 pages done. So we need to hustle. And by we, I mean me. It is going well, though. I'm liking how it's developing. This is all going into storage. Nobody gets to see it in storage. I tried to tell you last night. But you look so tired. Tell me what? The neighborhoods. This is storage. The neighborhood's Christmas decorating contest. Annual is going even bigger this year. And I saw on Facebook according to the Facebook page, real contenders gotta start early. Might already be behind. Ruby. This is just absurd. You can't be... So... You can't be disturbing the peace so early. Disturbing the peace. Maybe laughs. Disturbing the peace. Wow, you are funny. Spreading some cheer more like. Much needed cheer more like. What do you say? Want to help? Want to join forces and take this thing together? Also, my music stopped. Please don't stop the stream. Okay. We're fine. We also only have 26 minutes. Disturbing the peace. Wow, you are funny. Spreading so much cheer, more like. What do you say? Want to join the forces and take the trophy together? Margot grunts and turns heel. To walk back to the house. I'm calling the HOA. Their opinion on this. To get their thoughts on this. Oh. Alright then. Have a good one. Christmas doesn't start till December 1st at the earliest. Put that right there. Christmas doesn't start until December 1st at the earliest. You can't be disturbing the peace so early on. Disturbing the peace. Wow, you are funny. Spreading so much needed cheer, more like. What do you say? Want to join forces and take the trophy together? Margot grunts. I'm calling the HOA to get their thoughts on this. Okay, alright then. Have a good one. Oh. And Merry Christmas. Margot flinches and winces in pain. Maybe not. Growls to herself. Back in the house. Margot's house. Hey. 4 pages in. Yikes! Guys, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I mean, we've made a lot of progress. We got a lot more to make. Stay. Margot paces on the phone. Paces on the phone. She looks out the window. Yes. No. It's not on my property. Yet. But who knows these people are capable of? No, it's not on my property yet, but who knows what these people are capable of? No. Is there nothing you can do? In the background of the phone, in the background on the phone, Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" begins to play. Margot scoffs and hangs up. She sits down in her chair with knitting needles and takes a deep breath. She knits, she crochets a sweater. Music, oh gosh, come back. Focus. Christmas music blares from the other yard. Margot jumps and drops her needles. She looks outside the window. Not Carol. Ruby dances along to the music. I feel like it's taken too long for like the setup to happen. Like I want to get to the feud stuff now. She looks at Ruby dances along to the music. Exterior, Ruby's house, day. Ruby has set up most of the decorations, including most of the decorations. No. The yard is littered with an assortment of tacky decorations. The house is lined with lights that dance along to music. Dance along to the music. Her son, Baker, Billy, her son Baker, ten years old, come back, dances with her. Dance and sing along to the music. Ruby wheels over a generator that the lights plug into. Isn't that just great? I've set up a playlist that'll go all day long. Wow. That's awesome. It sure is. It sure is, isn't it? She grabs him and dances with him in the yard. Interior. We're setting it up, guys. I mean, it's a little too much setup probably, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Come back. 16 minutes? I don't think so. We will read through it at 16 minutes and see what needs to happen from there. She grabs him and dances with him in the yard. Margot's fists are clenched. She gives a menacing glare. And red flashes in her eyes. That does it. She storms to an office, to a dusty office, and pulls out a notebook. What were we gonna say that she does next? Trying to pulls out a notebook. She brings it back to the window and sketches out Ruby's yard. Bad things happen. Whoa. 15 minutes. Cool. She storms to a dusty office. She storms over to a dusty office. Pulls out a notebook. She blows on it and grabs a pen. Sketches out Ruby's yard. How do we start the montage? You know, like, feel like we should get one bad thing happening first and then have it escalate. Exterior, Ruby's house, day. Oh. Ruby, nope. Margot sneaks around to the side of the house. Ruby buckles Baker into their Honda Civic. To their white Honda Civic. And shuts the door. She drives away. Margot walks over to the generator. She looks around. The house sings loudly. Sings loudly. It does, doesn't it? It sings so loudly. Margot covers her ears. She opens the generator. She unplugs the cable that leads to everything. I'm hitting sort of a wall here, 5 pages in, where like I'm trying to get into like the fun action of it, but I'm struggling to figure out how to do it. That does it. This means war. Montage. Start. No. We can't get there yet. Okay, I have an idea. That could be funny. Margot takes around to the side of the house. Ruby buggles bigger. She looks around. The house sings loudly. Margot covers her ears. She opens the generator. Yeah, maybe she doesn't say this word. She unplugs the main cable. She unplugs the main cable and watches it spark and sputter. The lights on the house go haywire and then pop. Margot jumps at Margot jumps. Break as electricity pops. Margot jumps. Uh-oh, my music stopped working. Don't kill me. Please. Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. Margot jumps. The music slows down to an eerie halt. Margot smiles and puts the cable and wraps the cable up. She carries it back to her house and goes inside. Interior. This was my idea. Interior. Ruby's car. Honda Civic. Day. Baker sits in the back with an iPad in hand. Mom, can we go to the park later? Mom? Ruby. The car is parked in a in a Walmart. No. The car is, they sit in a drive-thru. The glow of Ruby's phone hits her face as she watches her doorbell security camera. The glow of Ruby's phone covers her face as she watches her doorbell security camera. As she watches Margot on her doorbell security camera. And then Ruby can say, this means war. Ruby puts a tree on her front porch. Interior. Margot's house. Day. Come back. 5 minutes. Let's speed right these last little bit. Just for a little bit. Margot's house. Day. Margot is ready for bed. There's a knock at the door. She grumbles and waddles over. Waddles towards it. She opened to open it. Yeah, this is like interior / exterior. On the front porch are Margot gasps. On the front porch are dozens. Are trees and are pine trees and candy canes of various sizes. Fully decorated. I should say fully decorated pine trees. Are fully decorated pine trees and candy canes of various sizes. Margot gets right bed. There's a knock on the door. She growls and waddles towards it. Margot gasps. On the front porch are fully decorated pine trees and candy canes of various sizes. Ruby. Ruby walks her dog on the sidewalk. Evening, Margot. Merry Christmas. Hey, you can't. Please, 3 minutes. You mess with the wrong mama. Margot stomps her foot. She grabs the is a fully decorated one pine tree and candy canes of various sizes. Ruby walks her dogs. Margot stomps her foot. She grabs the tree and yanks it inside. She slams the door. Oh, we'll see about that. Good luck, Grandma. 1 minute 30. How's it going? What's up? It's going good. We got a minute left, and I'd say we're about like a little over halfway, so it's not going the best in terms of getting it done on time, but it's going good in terms of writing a good story, a cute script. Once we're done with the minute, we'll go back and read what we got, see what we're gonna have to do to finish it up. Last minute, baby. She slams the door. Begin montage. I think that's how you say that. How to put montage in a screenplay. Begin feud montage. Oh no, we're out of time. Oh, boom. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have done something. What have we done? I'll tell you what we've done. In the span of 90 minutes, we made ourselves a plan. We maybe spent too long making a plan, but no such thing. And we wrote 6 pages of our 8 to 12 page script, which honestly is not too bad. I would have been amazed if we got 12 pages in 90 minutes. But that being said, I think we should go back and we should start feeling out what we think of the story, what we think of the characters, is it reading well, and where we're going to need to go from here. Obviously, I can't quite, this isn't finished, but it's a good jump start, and that's always what we're looking for. So, can we get some nice music? That's not really the vibe. What's the vibe, guys? No. Maybe some classical. Can't go too wrong with classical. But I need my playlist. Shorts, live, playlists. Oh my gosh, Isaac Cinnamon's live right now? That's crazy. Dude, that's... What? Okay. Let's take a look-see. Are we ready? We ready to dive in? See how our characters are? Let's go. Exterior Margot's house, night. Kids run around in various costumes, holding buckets of candy. Margot, a grouchy-looking lady in her mid-60s, sits on the front porch, a bowl full of hard candy in her lap. She rocks gently and catches herself from falling asleep. A group of 3 kids walk slowly up to her. Well, aren't you supposed to say something? The burger kid, a kid in a burger costume, inches closer. Trick or treat? Margot grabs the candy and holds it out for the kid. He timidly approaches and quickly snatches it out of her hand. The group runs away screaming. They cross over the yard to the next door neighbor, Ruby, a jolly woman in her mid-40s, comes out the front door. Hey kids, you want some candy? Yeah, trick or treats. She takes pre-made goodie bags with chocolate bars and fruity sweets and hands one to each of them. They shriek with excitement. You all go on home now. It's getting pretty late, don't you know? Margot glares at Ruby. She sets the bowl down and walks across to meet her. Good evening, Margot. Or, evening, Margot. Our street's got a lot of action tonight. Never mind. Snot-nosed brats. The last thing they need is a belly full of sugar. The last thing these snot-nosed brats These snot-nosed brats. The last thing these snot-nosed brats need is a belly full of sugar. Where are your munchkins? Where are your gremlins tonight? Oh, you know, here and there. They'll be home for too long. Say. Oh, say. You know what tomorrow is? Tuesday? November 1st. And we all know what that means. Margot groans and rubs her temple. All it means to me. All it means is 61 days before we start the next. Before we buy new calendars. All it means is 61 days before we buy new calendars. Oh, right. She yawns. Oh, right. Well, it's getting pretty late, wouldn't you say? Might be nice to turn in and tuck in. She laughs. She snorts. She's a snorter. She snorts to herself. Margot stares. Right. She walks back to her house, hobbles up the porch stairs, and slams the front door. Ruby waves goodnight. Well, now I'm confused what Margot went over there for. What do we think? Tuesday. They'll be home for too long. All right. Just make sure they're not being loud when they come in. Make sure they're not being loud when they come back. I don't want to hear it. Oh, I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. Oh, say, you know what tomorrow is? Tuesday? November 1st, and we all know what that means. Margot groans and rubs her temple. She yawns. Maybe she just yawns and rubs her temple. She's not picking up on what's going on. All it means is 61 days before we all buy new calendars. Oh, right. Of course. Well, it's getting pretty late, wouldn't you say? Might be nice to turn in and tuck in. If you know what I mean. She snorts to herself. Margot stares. Right. She walks back to her house. Margot should just say, not a peep. She walks back to her house. Not a peep, got it? She walks back to her house, hobbles up the porch stairs, and slams the front door. Ruby waves goodnight. Interior Margot's house, night. Margot takes a deep breath at the front door. She changes into her nightgown and puts dinner on the stove. She hums a soft tune. She sets 2 place settings at the table and sits down to eat alone. I know it's burnt. Sorry. What do you want from me? The room is quiet. She looks down at her plate and looks across from her. Fine. Here you go. She switches the plates and continues eating. Interior bedroom, day. Blinding light streaks through the blinds onto Margot's face. A loud beeping wakes her up. She slams her alarm, but the beeping continues. She stumbles out of bed and looks outside her window. She gasps. Exterior Ruby's house day. A large moving truck backs into the driveway. Ruby stands in the yard with a giant grin on her face. The truck stops and Ruby unlocks the back. The shutter opens to reveal every Christmas decoration in existence. Trees, inflatables, lights, candy canes, plastic reindeer, and the like are crammed together. Ruby puts her hands on her hips. All right. Perfect. Interior Margot's house day. Margot rushes to get her clothes on. She passes by a framed photograph that's obscured by a glare. Dust. No, 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 no. Not again. Exterior Margot's house day. Margot steps onto the front porch with her clothes haphazardly. That's a word. Thrown together, her slippers leading the way. Ruby has unloaded the truck and whistles to herself. Ruby, Ruby. Morning, Margot. Morning, Margot. Gee, you're up and at 'em pretty early this morning. Please tell me this is going into storage. Nobody gets to see it in storage, silly. I tried to tell you last night, but you seem so tired. I thought I'd make it a surprise. Tell me what? The neighborhood's annual Christmas decoration contest is going even bigger this year, and according to the Facebook page, the real contenders gotta start early. I might already be behind. This is just absurd. Christmas doesn't start until December 1st at the earliest. You can't be disturbing the peace so suddenly. Disturbing the peace? Wow, you are funny. You are a hoot. Spreading some much needed cheer, more like. What do you say? Maybe she just says, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment, Margot. Disturbing the peace, spreading some much needed cheer, more like. What do you say? Want to join forces and take the trophy together? Margot grunts and turns to walk back to the house. I'm calling the HOA to get their thoughts on this. Oh, all right then. Have a good one. Oh, and Merry Christmas. Margot flinches and growls to herself. Interior Margot's house day. Margot paces on the phone. Paces while on the phone. She looks out the window. No, it's not on my property yet, but who knows what these people are capable of. Well, is there nothing you can do? Well, what am I supposed to do about it? In the background on the phone, Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You begins to play. Margot scoffs and hangs up. Maybe we, instead of through the phone, haphazardly. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, I did spell it wrong. Thank you. Nobody gets to see it in storage, silly. Margot picks on the phone. The radio plays in the background. She looks out the window. No, it's not on my property yet, but who knows what these people are capable of? Well, what am I supposed to do about it? On the radio, Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You begins to play. Margot jolts and changes the station. It turns to another. It's the next station plays the same song. She does this twice more, and finally just turns it off. Fine. Let it... Or what? Fine. Let it be known that you are no help. Fine then. She scoffs and hangs up. She sits down in the chair with knitting needles and takes deep breaths. She crochets a sweater. Christmas music blares from the other yard. Margot jumps and drops her needles. She looks outside the window. Ruby dances along to the music. Her son Baker, 10 years old, dances with her. Exterior Ruby's house day. The yard is littered with an assortment of tacky decorations. The house is lined with lights that dance and sing along to the music. Ruby wheels over a generator that the lights plug into. Isn't that just great? I've set up a playlist that'll go all day long. Whoa, that's awesome. It sure is, isn't it? She grabs him and dances with him in the yard. We'll have that trophy, no doubt. Interior Margot's house day. Margot's fists are clenched. She gives a menacing glare and red flashes in her eyes. That does it. She storms over to a dusty office and pulls out a notebook. She blows on it and grabs a pen. She brings it back to the window and sketches out Ruby's yard. Exterior Ruby's house day. Margot sneaks around to the side of the house. Ruby buckles Baker into their white Honda Civic and shuts the door. She drives away. Margot walks over to the generator. She looks around. The house sings loudly. Margot covers her ears. She opens up the generator. She unplugs the main cable and watches it spark and sputter. The lights on the house go haywire and then break as electricity pops. Margot jumps. The music slows down to an eerie halt. Margot smiles and wraps the cable up. She carries it back to her house and goes inside. Interior Honda Civic day. Baker sits in the back with an iPad in hand. They sit in a drive-thru. Mom, can we go to the park later? Mom? The glow of Ruby's phone covers her face, illuminates her face as she watches Margot walk away on her doorbell security camera. This means war. Interior, exterior Margot's house day. Margot gets ready for bed. There's a knock at the door. She grumbles and waddles towards it to open it. Margot gasps. On the front porch is a fully decorated pine tree and candy canes of various sizes. Ruby walks her dog on the sidewalk. Evening, Margot. Merry Christmas. Hey, you can't... You mess with the wrong mama. Oh, we'll see about that. She gives an unsettling smile. Ruby gives, oh, we'll see about that. Yeah, good luck, Grandma. Margot stomps her foot. She grabs the tree and yanks it inside. She slams the door. Begin feud montage. Okay, so far, what I'm thinking is that we have a fun little setup here. However, I'm concerned that it's too long so far, and we still need to do the feud stuff and have the big, like, everything blowing up, so that we can still have, like, their dialogue and them coming together. Like, it feels like it's gonna be too long. That being said, I kind of want to, like, keep writing it and then see the long version and then see where we can cut out. I'm sure we can probably cut out some of this opening stuff. Like, we might just need to cut into the it's too early for Christmas. It's fun. It's going well. But that being said, you know, for the assignment, we're gonna have to figure out what we wanna do in terms of that. Yeah. I don't know. What do we think? How are we feeling about this story so far? Like, it feels like it's building up, and it feels like we're hitting the, like, the big moments now. But I'm wondering if it's, like, if that might need to happen quicker. And I need to, like, brainstorm how to do that best. Yeah, I mean, long for the thing. We'll see. It might end up being like 15 pages, and maybe I can cut it down to like, I mean, I'll have to try to cut it down to like 12 or 13. But after working on it like for 90 minutes straight, I think if I like walk away and come back to it, then I'll have fresh eyes to be able to like to finish it out, and then go from there, you know. Where's the, no, not that, you go away. Yeah. That will make sense to me. You know, I wanted to try something. I didn't know if I was gonna do this on stream or not. I'm probably gonna read just for the rest of stream, Sense and Sensibility. But I got these, I told you I got these invisible ink markers because I'm working on a project, and they're also like skin safe invisible ink. And so I want to like test something and see if it shows up on the stream or not. My idea is to like make this design on my face and body, and then like when the lights come on, have that like have it like illuminate in the dark. So let's just see. Let's see. Also, I should say we have some work to do on that last one, but we wrote a lot and it was good, and we're celebrating. So clap that up. Success. Look, sometimes you gotta be your own biggest hype man, right? Alright, I just want to see. This is kind of weird to do. I'm definitely gonna have to have someone help me with this. Just kind of get that around there. Well, it's definitely invisible. But does it show up under a UV light? Ooh. Oh, that shows up strong. Now, granted, I would have to hold the light like right in front of my face. If it was a little further, it might not show up as clearly. But like, if I were to, oh shoot, I'm wondering how like clear that is. Like, that seemed strong for the last one. Yeah, I mean, that definitely shows up. Let me try it on my arm where I can actually like see me like drawing on it and not just guess with my face. You know what I mean? Don't die on me, AirPod. Oh, it died on me. That's mean. That's just not nice of you to do, Mr. AirPod. Oh yeah. You see that? Oh, maybe. It's hard to angle. But that kind of shows up. This is also like, I got a colored set, and you know. So this is like the yellow one. I wonder what the other ones, if they show up well, as like red and blue. Or this looks more pink. Pink's fun. Don't we love just experimenting with colors? Experimenting with fun things. Still looks like invisible ink. Let me I'm trying to find like a good spot to do it. And okay, well that one's much fainter. I mean, I can kind of see the color, but the color doesn't. Well, I guess you see it better on there. But I think the brightest one is definitely like the yellow one, obviously, because yellow's a bright color. But like, it's curious. Yeah, that kind of shows, but it's definitely not as like up and out as this one. I really got this one good. Very interesting. Let's try the blue one. Let's try the blue one, folks. We'll try on the neck here. On the neck. Let's see. Ooh. Well, that blue definitely shines through. I'm seeing that the issue is gonna be like definitely trying to like keep it in one sort of spot, you know, because like if I dot specifically in spots, then that's gonna like show up clear. Yeah. Dude, invisible ink is crazy. You really can't, like, you can't see it. I mean, guys, crazy discovery. You can't see invisible ink. Let's see how it comes across. This one just says subscribe. Yeah, I definitely see the blue a lot more, which is cool. That is cool. What's up, Max? Hello. I'm drawing on myself. Isn't that fun? I'm just testing out these invisible ink markers to see how they kind of show through for a design project I'm brainstorming. I'm gonna be honest though, like, I know these are like colored, but the color all kind of looks the same after a minute. Well, I guess not really though. Like, that's clearly pink, that's clearly blue. But this one was like yellow, and this yellow is looking very similar to the blues. You know? And that's a clear pink. I wonder how it looks with the lights off. Well, I'd have to turn this off too. I don't know, more experimentation to be had with that later, but that's kind of fun. I now have paint all over my face that no one will know about, except for me and you. But we are reaching the end of the stream here. We've gotten some good work done today. So, finally, we need to get back into Sense and Sensibility. It's been good. Just left esports. Oh, sweet. Dude, that's so cool. Okay. I want to get back into Sense and Sensibility. I gotta know what's happening next. And if you're with me, say hello, governor. Trying to remember where we left off. I think Marianne was kind of, falling for the colonel, but I could be reading into that. You know, I could be I could be reading into that. Oh man, it really shows off the plaque in my teeth, huh, doesn't it? Oh, that's gross. That is gross. Whoa. Wow. Alright, I'll stop with that. I'm sorry, okay? This song is so good. Okay. Here we go. Picking up where we left off, chapter 8. I need to get into the mode. Chapter 8. Mrs. Jennings was a widow with an ample jointure. She had only 2 daughters, both of whom she had lived to see respectably married, and she had now therefore nothing to do but to marry all the rest of the world. In the promotion of this object, she was zealously active as far as her ability reached, and missed no opportunity of projecting weddings among all the young people of her acquaintance. She was remarkably quick in the discovery of attachments, and had enjoyed the advantage of raising the blushes and the vanity of many a young lady by insinuations of her power over such a young man. And this kind of discernment enabled her soon after her arrival at Barton decisively to pronounce that Colonel Brandon was very much in love with Marianne Dashwood. She rather suspected it to be so on the first evening of their being together, from his listening so attentively while she sang to them, and when the visit was returned by the Middletons dining at the cottage, the fact was ascertained by his listening to her again. It must be so. She was perfectly convinced of it. It would be an excellent match, for he was rich and she was handsome. Mrs. Jennings had been anxious to see Colonel Brandon well married ever since her connection with Sir John first brought him to her knowledge, and she was always anxious to get a good husband for every pretty girl. The immediate advantage to herself was by no means inconsiderable, for it supplied her with endless jokes against them both. At the park she laughed at the Colonel, and in the cottage at Marianne. To the former her raillery was probably, as far as it regarded only himself, perfectly indifferent, but to the latter it was at first incomprehensible, and when its object was understood, she hardly knew whether most to laugh at its absurdity or censure its impertinence. For she considered it as an unfeeling reflection on the Colonel's advanced years and on his forlorn condition as an old bachelor. Mrs. Dashwood, who could not think a man 5 years younger than herself so exceedingly ancient as he appeared to the youthful fancy of her daughter, ventured to clear Mrs. Jennings from the probability of wishing to throw ridicule on his age. "But at least, mamma, you cannot deny the absurdity of the accusation, though you may not think it intentionally ill-natured. Colonel Brandon is certainly younger than Mrs. Jennings, but he is old enough to be my father, and if he were ever animated enough to be in love, must have long outlived every sensation of the kind. It is too ridiculous. When is a man to be safe from such wit if age and infirmity will not protect him?" "Infirmity?" said Eleanor. "Do you call Colonel Brandon infirm? I can easily suppose that his age may appear much greater to you than my mother, but you can hardly deceive yourself as to his having the use of his limbs. Did you not hear him complain of the rheumatism? And is that not the commonest infirmity of declining life?" "My dearest child," said her mother, laughing, "at this rate you must be in continual terror of my decay, and it must seem to you a miracle that my life has extended to the advanced age of 40. "Mamma, you are not doing me justice. I know very well that Colonel Brandon is not old enough to make his friends yet apprehensive of losing him in the course of nature. He may live 20 years longer, but 35 has nothing to do with matrimony." "Perhaps," said Eleanor, 35 and 17 had better not have anything to do with matrimony together. That is quite an age gap, 35 and 17. But if there should be any chance happen to be a woman who is single at 7 and 20, I should not think Colonel Brandon's being 35 an objection to his marrying her." A woman of 37, said Marianne after pausing a moment, can never hope... Sorry, a woman of 37 or 27 can never hope to feel or inspire affection again, and if her home should be uncomfortable or her fortune small, I can suppose that she might bring herself to submit to the offices of a nurse for the sake of the provision and security of a wife. In his marrying such a woman, therefore, there would be nothing unsuitable. It would be a compact of convenience, and the world would be satisfied. In my eyes, it would be no marriage at all, but that would be nothing. To me, it would seem only a commercial exchange in which each wished to be benefited at the expense of the other. It would be impossible, I know, replied Eleanor, to convince you that a woman of 27 could feel for a man of 35 anything near enough to love to make him a desirable companion to her. But I must object to your dooming Colonel Brandon and his wife to the constant confinement of a sick chamber merely because he chanced to complain yesterday, a very cold damp day, of a slight rheumatic feel in one of his shoulders. But he talked of flannel waistcoats, said Marianne. And with me a flannel waistcoat is invariably connected with aches, cramps, rheumatisms, and every species of ailment that can afflict the old and the feeble. So wait, I'm trying to track here. Is Eleanor trying to convince Marianne that it's okay, that it's okay with the age gap, or is Marianne trying to justify it? I don't know. Had he only in a violent fever, you would not have despised him half so much. Confess, Marianne, is not there something interesting to you in the flushed cheek, hollow eye, and quick pulse of a fever? My word. Soon after this, upon Eleanor's leaving the room, Mamma, said Marianne, I have an alarm on the subject of illness, which I cannot conceal from you. I am sure Edward Ferrars is not well. We have now been here almost a fortnight, and yet he does not come. Nothing but real indisposition could occasion his extraordinary delay. What else can detain him at Norland? Had you any idea of his coming so soon? Said Mrs. Dashwood. I had none. On the contrary, if I have felt any anxiety at all on the subject, it has been in recollecting that he sometimes showed a want of pleasure and readiness in accepting my invitation when I talked of his coming to Barton. Does Eleanor expect him already? I have never mentioned it to her, but of course she must. I rather think you are mistaken, for when I was talking to her yesterday of getting a new grate for the spare bedchamber, she observed that there was no immediate hurry for it, as it was not likely that this room would be wanted for some time. How strange this is! What can be the meaning of it? But the whole of their behavior to each other has been unaccountable. How cold, how composed were their last adieus. How languid their conversation when the last evening of their being together. In Edward's farewell there was no distinction between Eleanor and me. It was the good wishes of an affectionate brother to both. Twice did I leave them purposely together in the course of the last morning, and each time did the most unaccountably follow me out of the room. And Eleanor, in quitting Norland and Edward, cried, not as I did. Even now her self-command is invariable. When is she dejected or melancholy? When does she try to avoid society or appear restless and dissatisfied in it? End of chapter 8. So, if I'm tracking, again, it seems like, oh, that's good. Marianne is trying to convince the mother that Edward is not that into Eleanor. Meanwhile, they're also talking about the Colonel Brandon with Marianne and that kind of relationship, but they're like debating the age gap there, which is a bit concerning. 18, is that 18 years? Yeah, 18 years is a big gap, but I don't know how big that is for like the time, you know, for that culture. Probably still big, but very interesting. There's a lot of questions of love going on here. Okay, let's continue. Chapter 9. The Dashwoods were now settled at Barton with tolerable comfort to themselves. The house and the garden, with all the objects surrounding them, were now become familiar, and the ordinary pursuits which had given to Norland half its charms were engaged in again with far greater enjoyment than Norland had been able to afford since the loss of their father. Sir John Middleton, who called on them every day for the first fortnight, and who was not in the habit of seeing much occupation at home, could not conceal his amazement on finding them always employed. Their visitors, except those from Barton Park, were not many, for in spite of Sir John's urgent entreaties that they would mix more in the neighbourhood, and repeated assurances of his carriage being always at their service, the independence of Mrs. Dashwood's spirit overcame the wish of society for her children, and she was resolute in declining to visit any family beyond the distance of a walk. There were but few who could be so classed. And it was not all of them that were attainable. About a mile and a half from the cottage, along the narrow winding valley of Allenham, which issued from that of Barton as formerly described, the girls had, in one of their earliest walks, discovered an ancient respectable-looking mansion, which by reminding them a little of Norland interested their imagination, and made them wish to be better acquainted with it. But they learned on inquiry that its possessor, an elderly lady of very good character, was unfortunately too infirm, too sick, to mix with the world and never stirred from home. The whole country about them abounded in beautiful walks. The high downs which invited them from almost every window of the cottage to seek the exquisite enjoyment of air on their summits were a happy alternative when the dirt of the valleys beneath shut up their superior beauties, and towards one of these hills did Marianne and Margaret one memorable morning direct their steps, attracted by the partial sunshine of a showery sky, and unable longer to bear the confinement which the settled rain of the 2 preceding days had occasioned. The weather was not tempting enough to draw the 2 others from their pencil and their book in spite of Marianne's declaration that the day would be lastingly fair, and that every threatening cloud would be drawn off from their hills, and the 2 girls set off together. They gaily ascended the downs, rejoicing in their own penetration at every glimpse of blue sky, and when they caught in their faces the animating gales of a high southwesterly wind, they pitied the fears which had prevented their mother and Eleanor from sharing such delightful sensations. "Is there a felicity in the world," said Marianne, "superior to this? Margaret, we will walk here at least 2 hours." Margaret agreed, and they pursued their way against the wind, resisting it with laughing delight for about 20 minutes longer, when suddenly the clouds united over their heads, and a driving rain set full in their face. Chagrined and surprised, they were obliged, though unwillingly, to turn back, for no shelter was nearer than their own house. One consolation, however, remained for them, to which the exigence of the moment gave more than usual propriety. It was that of running with all possible speed down the steep side of the hill which led immediately to their garden gate. They set off. Marianne had at first the advantage, but a false step brought her suddenly to the ground, and Margaret, unable to stop herself to assist her, was involuntarily hurried along and reached the bottom in safety. A gentleman carrying a gun, with 2 fingers playing round him, was passing up the hill and within a few yards of Marianne when her accident happened. He put down his gun and ran to her assistance. She had raised herself from the ground, but her foot had been twisted in the fall, and she was scarcely able to stand. The gentleman offered his services, and perceiving that her modesty declined what her situation rendered necessary, took her up in his arms without further delay and carried her down the hill. Then, passing through the garden, the gate of which had been left open by Margaret, he bore her directly into the house, whither Margaret was just arrived, and quitted not his hold until he had seated her in a chair in the parlor. Sounds like we've got a bit of a knight in shining armor here. Eleanor and her mother rose up in amazement at their entrance, and while the eyes of both were fixed on him with an evident wonder and a secret admiration which equally sprung from his appearance, he apologized. He apologized for his intrusion by relating its cause in a manner so frank and so graceful that his person, which was uncommonly handsome, received additional charms from his voice and expression. Had he been even old, ugly, and vulgar, the gratitude and kindness of Mrs. Dashwood would have been secured by any act of attention to her child, but the influence of youth, beauty, and elegance gave an interest to the action which came home to her feelings. She thanked him again and again, and with a sweetness of address which always attended her, invited him to be seated, but this he declined, as he was dirty and wet. Mrs. Dashwood then begged to know to whom she was obliged. His name, he replied, was Willoughby, and his present home was at Allenham, from whence he hoped she would allow him the honour of calling tomorrow to inquire after Miss Dashwood. The honour was readily granted, and then he departed to make himself still more interesting in the midst of a heavy rain. His manly beauty and more than common gracefulness were instantly the theme of general admiration, and the laugh which his gallantry raised against Marianne received particular spirit from his exterior attractions. Marianne herself had seen less of his person than the rest, for the confusion which crimsoned over her face on his lifting her up had robbed her of the power of regarding him after their entering the house. But she had seen enough of him to join in all the admiration of the others, and with an energy which always adorned her praise. His person and air were equal to what her fancy had ever drawn for the hero of her favorite story, and in his carrying her into the house with so little previous formality, there was a rapidity of thought which particularly recommended the action to her. Every circumstance belonging to him was interesting. His name was good, his residence was in their favorite village, and she soon found out that of all manly dresses a shooting jacket was the most becoming. Her imagination was busy, her reflections were pleasant, and the pain of a sprained ankle was disregarded. Sir John called on them as soon as the next interval of fair weather that morning allowed him to get out of doors, and Marianne's accident being related to him, he was eagerly asked whether he knew any gentleman of the name Willoughby at Allenham. "Willoughby!" cried Sir John. "What, is he in the country? That is good news, however. I will ride over tomorrow and ask him to dinner on Thursday." "You know him then?" said Mrs. Dashwood. "Know him? To be sure I do. Why, he is down here every year." "And what sort of young man is he?" "As good a kind of fellow as ever lived, I assure you, and a very decent shot, and there is not a bolder rider in England." "And is that all you can say for him?" cried Marianne indignantly. "But what are his manners on more intimate acquaintance? What his pursuits, his talents and genius?" Sir John was rather puzzled. "Upon my soul," said he, "I do not know much about him as to all that, but he is a pleasant, good-humored fellow, and has got the nicest little black bitch of a pointer I ever saw. Was she out with him today?" But Marianne could no more satisfy him as to the color of Mr. Willoughby's pointer than he could describe to her the shades of his mind. "But who is he?" said Eleanor. "Where does he come from? Has he a house at Allenham?" On this point, Sir John could give more certain intelligence, and he told them that Mr. Willoughby had no property of his own in the country, that he resided there only while he was visiting the old lady at Allenham Court, to whom he was related, and whose possessions he was to inherit, adding, Yes, he is very well worth catching, I can tell you, Miss Dashwood. He has a pretty little estate of his own in Somersetshire besides, and if I were you, I would not give him up to my younger sister in spite of all this tumbling down hills. Miss Marianne must not expect to have all the men to herself. Brandon will be jealous if she does not take care." I do not believe, said Mrs. Dashwood with a good-humored smile, that Mr. Willoughby will be incommoded by the attempts of either of my daughters towards what you shall call catching him. It is not an employment to which they have been brought up. Men are very safe with us, let them be ever so rich. I am glad to find, however, from what you say, that he is a respectable young man, and one whose acquaintance will not be ineligible. He is as good a sort of fellow, I believe, as ever lived, repeated Sir John. I remember last Christmas, at a little hop at the park, he danced from 8 o'clock till 4 without once sitting down. Did he indeed? Cried Marianne with sparkling eyes. And with elegance, with spirit? Yes, and he was up again at 8 to ride to covert. That is what I like. That is what a young man ought to be. Whatever be his pursuits, his eagerness in them should know no moderation and leave him no sense of fatigue. Aye, I see how it will be, said Sir John. I see how it will be. You will be setting your cap at him now, and never think of poor Brandon. That is an expression, Sir John, said Marianne warmly, which I particularly dislike. I abhor every commonplace phrase by which wit is intended, and setting one's cap at a man, or making a conquest, are the most odious of all. Their tendency is gross and illiberal. And if their construction should ever be deemed clever, time has long ago destroyed all its ingenuity. Sir John did not much understand this reproof, but he laughed as heartily as if he did, and then replied, Aye, you will make conquests enough, I dare say, one way or another. Poor Brandon. He is quite smitten already, and he is very well worth setting your cap at, I can tell you, in spite of all this tumbling about and spraining of ankles. End of chapter 9. Alright, so we got a new love interest introduced into our story, it may seem. Willoughby. As soon as I heard the name, I felt like I recognized it, so this may be an important character to our story, I would assume. And yeah, it seems like through chance of fate, when poor Marianne stumbled and sprained her ankle, gentleman he was, picked her up, and he seems to have exactly what Marianne is looking for. So I'm curious how she will pursue this further and further her advances. Can I also just say, full disclosure, I understand that my quote-unquote British accent, English accent, is, shall we say, lacking. But, and here's what you'd really need to understand. I'm having a good time, and every word I say incorrectly, or stumble over, or struggle to make British, is just one step closer I get to something beautiful, I think. So, oh yeah, it's still bright on there. Whoa! Cool. I think that was a successful stream. I'm thinking of coming back this weekend. I want to finish Epic, first of all. And if I'm going to do that, I'm probably going to do it on Saturday. I want to finish Epic, and do that, because we got cut off on that. I also might come back either tomorrow or some point before Monday to finish our narrative short, to go back in and tackle that. But yeah, otherwise, well, I'm glad you enjoy my accent, Super Gaming Texan. I really do. I enjoy it as well, as all over the place as it is. But whether I see you, whether I don't see you, I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a great weekend. As always, do something fun, do something inspiring, watch something, watch a movie, watch a show. I'm gonna see the Thunderbolts, which I'm excited about, and I think a couple other stuff. But stay inspired, and remember that hold on, something inspiration coming. Remember that remember to fail fast and fail loud and embrace it, because it means that you're about to get even better, because you know what you need to do to remedy that. I'm gonna come up with a better way to say that, put a little button on it. But that being said, have a good one. Thank you for joining, and I will catch you next time. God bless. Goodbye.